Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Marionette. This file may pull on some strings, but first let's set the scene. There's a show that you're visiting, and it is an artisan working with various marionettes, all dressed beautifully and dancing on strings that are manipulated expertly by his hands. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine sitting in the audience watching a show where someone makes those puppets dance to beautiful music, colors and shapes, movements that look as graceful as anything. And somehow the show slows down a little, and you notice how the spotlight is focused on one single doll. The ropes seem to shimmer and almost disappear into the background. The music becoming no more than a few notes. A dance, a sweet, slow dance. The story itself long forgotten, the movements of the doll are mesmerizing. You almost imagine yourself in the doll's place, feeling how the doll feels, not having to think about where to move, simply following the wires, the threads, the strings pulling you to whatever place you need to be. Dancing with a lightness that appears almost ethereal, weightless. There is a sudden sound. The doll falls. Something happened. The man who was manipulating the doll walks onto the stage and looks around the audience. For some reason, you are selected to replace the doll. Invited on stage, the man talks to you while the stage hands slowly add clothes. Somehow, words wander through your mind. They seem to have no meaning other than you know what is expected of you. Letting the strings guide you. Allow yourself to go completely limp, simply following the sound of my voice, the guidance, the threads bound to your wrists and ankles and back. Even your head is able to be positioned and moved wherever he wants. The audience looks. The audience watches in amazement as you are transformed from your former self into an almost perfect replica of the doll that was dancing before. Each piece of clothing, the threads shimmering in the light of the stage. And then you know that it is time. With a simple drop, your body goes limp, hanging by a thread. From there, the movements begin as the music plays. Your body is positioned, swinging, swaying. A beautiful dance, an amazing performance. It starts small with just minimal movements, as if the puppeteer is getting used to his new doll. And then slowly the movements become more grand, staying in a smoothness that feels beyond human, a beautiful grace that you never realized you were capable of. The flow of the clothing as you move, dancing, turning, inviting the audience into the story just as deep as you are. Your eyes, while blank, stare out at the audience and see all of them watching with amazement. The expressions on their faces are of wonder, of awe. Although your mind quickly moves on as the dance takes you to another place on the stage again. The music grows as your dance becomes more complex. Sights, sensations, and sounds moving you. There is no control inside of you anymore. You are simply a puppet, a marionette, dancing on strings. And when the strings finally make you bow, the notes of the melody fading away, there is a silence before the thundering applause of the audience. A standing ovation for both you and the puppeteer. Compliment after compliment is thrown your way, the crew impressed by your sensation of surrender into your role. The puppeteer smiles at you. After the threads are finally disconnected again, there's simply a glint in his eye of him seeing what is inside of you. Your body stands on its own, but the control doesn't seem to have returned until, with another smile on his lips, he raises his fingers and tells you to wait.